Hey everyone, and welcome to week 10. So it's my usual Sunday evening update from the greenhouse. So I'm just going to turn the camera around, see what's been going on this week. So look at the sweet potato. It's really taken off, so lots of growth there. Pumpkins and lovely flowers starting to come out, but I stupidly broke the pumpkin. Look, so I'm hoping there may be some more growth and it can come back. I was trying to turn it and I snapped it. So these are the joys. Obviously these are the watermelons back here. I actually just got some extra basil because we've been eating loads of it. So I just got some and put it around because it's also really great for that scent that comes from basil is really good at discouraging insects or any mites or anything like that coming in. So I also in here planted some, they just look like little bits of grass, but they're actually leeks. So I planted most of them outside, but I just needed some extra space. So I decided to put it into this container with the grapevine just to pack it in. As you can see, there is in here some of my cucumbers are growing up inside in there. Guys, look, this is my squash, my winter squash, but look at these. So these will open as a flower. If they get fertilized, then it'll turn into a squash. So this was a flower the other day, and we can see, look, it's lovely, a lovely big squash, and that'll start to grow. In here, then I have the okra, the aubergines, that these were just random seeds that I started to grow. And then in here we have all of, and I just love even actually just that splash of colour from the beans. We've had loads of courgettes this week, so I've harvested them all, and then there's lots of new ones to start coming up. So these are all females because they have the courgette behind it, and then the male is this one, so it just comes up a little thin shoot and then has a flower. But the biggest issue at the start was I didn't have any male flowers to fertilize, so thankfully it's now sending out some male flowers. We have lovely bits of growth here in terms of the aubergines. So we're getting some lovely aubergine, lots of flowers, and there's loads more to come along. This is great. I've never grown aubergine before, so really interesting. The cucumbers and the gherkins are in here, and look at, sorry now for the camera, look at this cucumber. They're all just starting to grow, so within the next week or two we should have some decent ones. You can see some nice little chilies starting to come along here as well. I actually clipped back a lot of the leaves and some of the branches off these tomatoes, just because you can see these ones down here, they are slow enough to ripen, so I just thought let in some more natural light and some air as well. It's always good to have some air. Down here you can see my lovely peppers. So this is probably the biggest one, and I'm going to pick it soon. The problem here is trying not to pick things too early. The passion fruit, which I've given a good telling off for not growing, has now finally started to grow. So this is all new growth up here. And then down here we have more strawberries. So everything else is doing great here. I'm absolutely delighted. I don't know if I showed you this last week, but look at the little growth coming up out of the ginger. So then this will turn into a ginger plant, and I'm going to bring you, oh yeah, so let me show you this. So this is just a wine bottle, and when I was clipping back the tomatoes, I got this long branch. So apparently, according to YouTube, if you just stick one of these into a bit of water, it should start rooting. So I'm going to give it a trial. Not that I actually need any more tomato plants, but sure, look, it's all about learning. So we'll come outside, and out here is where I planted the leeks. Now you can barely see them because they just look like little grass. I have recorded the video and I have to get it put up online. But essentially with leeks, you just dig a little hole and then you plant the leek into the hole, and you don't fill it back in. You let the soil naturally come back in around the leek. You can see the sweet corn. I have other sweet corn in the greenhouse that I'll be planting out there in the next week or two to join these. These are starting to grow nicely now, but you can see I only have about 4 or 5, so it's quite small. The onions are doing great. Onions are doing better over here. The carrots are really taken off. I have a pigeon who has decided that I'm feeding her as well. She likes to come along and sit here in the morning and eat a bit of the spinach. But look, we have to give a bit back to nature as well. The rocket, I've just let it go into bloom because it'll go to seed, and then I'm going to let the seeds fall down here and just take over here and let it grow. This is a little bit of coriander. I love coriander, so I'm just going to let that grow there. And I ran out of space as well for the cucumbers, so I just stuck this one outside. I don't know if it'll do well at all. The potatoes are growing great. Probably another month and I'll be able to harvest them, maybe even less. But once they start to die back, then I'll be able to harvest them. So guys, it's been a great week. The hair is on top of my head. Thank you so much, as always, to everyone who likes and subscribes and follows and lets me know what you're doing. Oh, actually, I forgot to show you. If this would turn around the camera up. So I actually planted some more leeks in here. So you can see what I mean by just you pop them into a hole and you just let it fill it in itself. Guys, I will say this week, the irrigation unit has been an absolute game changer for me out here. So I'm coming out and I'm kind of doing 2 big deep waterings twice in the week. The start of the week and then in the middle of the week. And I also do a big feed as well. But apart from that, I just let the irrigation units keep the beds nice and wet and moist. And in fairness, I come out and I check them fairly regularly. And it's fantastic. If I had really wanted to make the greenhouse a little bit more self-sufficient when it comes to watering itself, I probably would buy a second unit. Now it's super connected up to the water butt here, so when it does rain, I don't give out. I'm delighted because it fills the butt for me, and then it gets pumped back in and it goes all the way around the greenhouse. So definitely a really worthwhile investment. It frees me up. I don't have to panic if I'm not home or something happens or it becomes a really, really hot day. I know that it's absolutely fine. The greenhouse will be watered and there'll just be some water going through. So it waters twice in the day. But that's it. Fingers. All of these now will start to flower. I'm leaving the door open during the day just to let in any any insects, and because it's lovely and warm, and it's just to encourage as many insects now to come in. If I'm to be honest, one thing that I probably should have done is maybe bought some lavender plants or something that has a strong scent that would have attracted in more bees, because that will naturally help all of this. Let me show you just down here the cherry tomatoes. I'm eagerly waiting for them all. There's loads to ripen, so the greater the heat, the quicker they're going to ripen. So fingers crossed. But as always, have a really wonderful week. Please comment and like and let me know what you're going to be growing.